Now, let me tell you about this deal. I just sold this house May 7th and I made 228,000 net profit. Here's how it happened. This is the way the house was. I kept trying to buy it from the owner, and he never would answer the door. He had code enforcement signs on his door. He paid the fines. He didn't have nowhere to go. You see, his mom and dad owned this house and they raised three kids in the house. All the kids died, and the mom and dad have died before, and there was one guy left, and he was 62 years old. And he had diabetes and he had cataracts on his eyes, so he was basically blind. But I kept trying to buy it from him, and he never would answer the door. He wouldn't respond to my letters. And this guy never called off of my notes on the door, my beating on the door. He was in there, but I went to a neighbor. The neighbor said, "Oh, he's got diabetes. He's blind." He goes, "His all of his family died before him. He's very lonely." What happened is I told the neighbor, I said, "Well, I wish he'd sell me that house because, I bought a lot of houses in that neighborhood. And it's a very nice neighborhood." And this guy would not clean his up. So I told the neighbor, I said, "If he would just sell it to me, I'd make it look beautiful." And all the neighbors said, "Yes, we would love for you to do that." But he has nowhere to go. Well, so I gave up. I finally threw in the towel and says, "All right, I'm not going to pursue it anymore." And then the neighbor called me one day and said, "Hey, we found the guy dead. He died." The neighbor said he died without a will, and all of his house and his two cars and everything he owned was going to go to the state. It was going to get forfeited because the neighbor used to talk to this guy, and he always said he has no relatives. He has nobody, so why write a will? Well, that skip tracing thing I'm going to teach you on that Saturday, it I went on that and I found a blood relative in Colorado. It was his mother's sister. And I contacted her in Colorado, and she was 70 years old. And I said, "Listen, I guess you might have heard that Perry died." And she goes, "Oh, no, I didn't hear about that. Oh, poor Perry." I said, "Well, listen, the reason I'm contacting you is because everything he owns is going to be forfeited to the state of Georgia." And I said that I'm willing to buy that house if you will become his personal representative. And she didn't know anything about it. She goes, "Oh, I haven't seen or talked to him in 15 years. She said, "Well, I don't want to come down there and have to deal with this. I'm not getting on no plane. I'm retiring next month. I'm terrified of COVID. I'm not getting on a plane." I said, "I tell you what, I'll give you the names and numbers of some probate attorneys in Georgia. You give them a call and ask them if you can become Perry's personal representative." And so she did. And the attorney, the first one he said, "Yeah, I'll just send you some forms. You don't have to go out here. You just fill out the forms and we'll put it in the process." So she filled out the forms, and then it was very fast, the probate was. So I made an offer of 126,000, and she got that money. And here's why. See, the people are always saying there's no way to get good deals. I mean, people can sell their homes for top dollar even if they look like this. But so why do you think you could get one instead of some other investor? Well, it's because that lady, she told me, she says, "Well, I guess I need to have it cleaned out." She goes, "Who can I hire?" I said, "Well, I'll do that for you, no charge." So she gave me permission to go in and clean everything out. She wanted to sell the cars. So I met with people to show them the cars. I helped her sell them. And and I kept the grass cut and I trimmed the bushes. You see, this is what it looked like during the probate process because I had cut all the bushes and I kept the grass cut. I cleaned it up. I pressure washed it. Now, I didn't know if I was ever going to get the deal, but that's what I mean. By going the extra mile, there is no way that you could approach that lady and say, I'll give you more than he offered. I built a bond with this lady. And I do that with sellers. What happened is I bought this house for 126. At the time that I made the offer, the comps were 375. But just to show how crazy the market is, the house across the street was being rehabbed and they put it on the market at $500,000 and it sold. So my real estate agent that I always use to sell my homes said, we're putting yours on the market at 450. I said, oh, there's no way. I said, it was only worth 375 and I'm happy with that. He said, 450. I said, how about 420? He said, 450. Damn, we got 450. May 7th, I walked away with 228,000 net profit because of the way the market is. You ask a higher price and people will pay. It is crazy out there. Okay, so there it is. I fixed it up and I made 228,000. And then the seller. Let's talk about the seller. Could she have gotten more money? Yes, but she was about to retire. Do you think that she would invest $90,000 to fix this house up when she is retiring? No. Do you think she even wanted to come down here and deal with it to try to make more money? Do you think that she even really wanted to get involved? She didn't. That's what she told me. Well, guess what? She retired a month after I contacted her, and she walked away with 126 for the house. And then she got the money for the cars and furniture that I had a garage sale. And also it turned out the guy had $100,000 in the bank. So she walked away with about 250,000 just because someone like you and me, the great real estate investors of the world, contacted that lady. And now her life and her retirement is prosperous.